Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Every day I'm hustling, 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 hustling. Every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling.
We don't fight for rings and stuff like that. I don't fear anyone.
En este deporte no se viene a jugar y no le tengo miedo a nadie.
We don't come to play in this sport. I fear no one in this sport.
Does that mean that you will fight Triple G later this year?
Como lo dije en la pelea pasada, ahorita mismo me vuelvo a poner los guantes.
As I said in the last fight, right now I'll put on the gloves again.
¡Viva México!
Canelo wants to unify all the titles.
When did you realize, Andy, that you could take his power?
Because of the Mexican warrior that I am, I got that Mexican blood in me. So, talking about the Mexican style, I just proved it.
BoxingVoice.com.
Ain't no other sight in the game to see the Boxing Voice.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. I'm your host, Nestor Gibbs, and we're back for some morning afterthoughts after last night's fantastic back and forth war in a traditional Puerto Rico versus Mexico style of fight that Jaime Munguia and GABE Rosado gave us. True warrior in GABE Rosado, man. Took a lot of punishment, a lot of combination punches from Jaime Munguia. Munguia showed stamina. He showed punching, variety for sure. He mixed it up with uppercuts, hooks, 1-2s down the pipe. But I think what he was the most successful at and what gave Rosado all the trouble was really the combination punching. But boxing wouldn't be boxing without its fans. And, the boxing fans, what we want, we just want to ask you one question. That's right. So what's next, man? What have you done for me lately? Great. You beat GABE Rosado in a great win. In my opinion, I highly rank GABE as a very skilled and experienced fighter. I don't know if we had to give letter grades. I would say he's a B minus, maybe a C plus because he's never gotten that world title. But letter grades and numbers, those can be misleading. GABE is so much better than anything that we can, try to score him, grade him. What he brings to the ring, that heart. You just can't put a letter or a percentage on it. He tried all night. Jaime's just the youth and the, combination punches, his will not to fold. This did go to decision, so GABE continues to prove that, he's a tough test for any up-and-coming contender or former champion in the case of Jaime Munguia, because we do know that he won a belt at 54 when he beat 147-pound champion Saddam Ali, who moved up and beat Miguel Cotto at 54. And then, obviously Munguia came and beat him. Now, I won't bore you to death. Obviously, we're just asking something simple, man. What is next for Jaime? There's a lot of options out there for Jaime. On the DAZN side, you got the winner of Andrade Quigley. I didn't put Quigley in the poll because there's no way Quigley's winning. Saddam Ali. I know that many upsets took place yesterday, and maybe I would have said something like that. Maybe I wouldn't. I don't think that there's any surer fight than Andrade Quigley. So he's not, in the category with Andrade because I don't, it would be a shock to me if Quigley beat Andrade somehow. But I did put Gennady Golovkin, Murata winner, since they will be facing each other. Now, on the poll, you obviously can't fit all the options that we are going to discuss. I think that the number one option for Golden Boy and Dazn would be an all-Mexican affair with Jaime and Canelo. I don't know that Jaime is listo para Canelo. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's ready for Canelo at this point. He did good with Gabe. You know, Gabe did land shots here and there, but overall, Jaime did pretty well. Came out of there unscathed. No injuries, no black eyes, nothing. No wear and tear really on Jaime. So, you know, it was a war though. He took some punishment, but you know, the kid is a tough kid. That being said, I don't think that Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya, will be ready to throw him in there with Canelo Alvarez. If you can't get Gabe Rosado out of there faster than Canelo, than people have done in the past, or faster than what you've done yesterday, I don't think you're ready for Canelo, you know. Gabe was landing some nice left hooks to the body and bringing it upstairs, and Canelo's the master at that. A sexy fight for Dazn to try and bring some attention to them on a Cinco de Mayo, you know, would be Charlo versus Munguia. That is a good fight. Now, keep in mind that Charlo is cross-network, but very, very possible due to the high ranking of Jaime Munguia. Munguia is already ranked number 1 in the WBC at 160 pounds behind the champion Jermall Charlo. With this win and the convention a few days out, you know, I wouldn't put it past Jaime being mandated as a mandatory in many of these categories. He's number 4 in the WBA, but we know the WBA is what? Benefits Al Heyman. Now, no one really there. Chris Eubank is busy with Liam Williams, and we never heard of this guy. And I joked about this in the pre-pro, about them putting Jaime in there with Sergio Martinez, but that's the WBA. WBC, he's number 1, and he just came off a win, so he can easily be the mandatory come November. Then he is all the way in 12 in the IBF, but none of these guys hold a better win than him. So maybe after the rankings come out, he jumps over all these guys. Feisenbutz, he lost at 68. I don't know what he's doing at 60. So then he's number 1 in the WBO to Demetrius Andrade, which is in-house a la Dazn. And by in-house, I mean Dazn. You know, so yeah, there are options for Jaime, and a lot of things can happen. A lot of things can happen. Now, according to Jaime, listen to who he wants.
Yes, we are ready for Golovkin, but I want to fight with Derevyanchenko as well. What did you learn? ¿Qué aprendiste?
So he said, we are ready for Golovkin, but I want to fight Derevyanchenko as well. Mind you, Derevyanchenko is already scheduled in a fight to face Carlos Adames, in which I think he'll beat Adames. Adames just never been on that level. If Derevyanchenko has anything left, you know, he'll be probably too much for Adames, who doesn't take punches well. And Derevyanchenko, you know, at the very least, can slightly punch, get your respect. But Jaime looking at Golovkin and Derevyanchenko.
En el ring, como le digo, es una gran experiencia haber estado pues con uno de los peleadores que ha peleado con los mayores.
So he's just expressing that it was a wonderful experience to have shared the ring with someone like Gabe Rosado, who's been in the ring with, you know, tons of elite level names. Yeah, Brandon, Derevyanchenko. Some guys aren't ready. Like, you got to remember, this guy was not rich, brought up in Mexico, and he got a team late. You know, he just got with Eric Morales 2-3 fights ago. You know, he just got with Golden Boy the fight before or the fight of the Saddam Ali fight. So it's like they're developing him. You know, they're really developing him, and he's developing himself. He's in no rush. Look what he's telling you. Give me the 39-year-old Derevyanchenko after another fight with Murata, or give me the guy that the 39-year-old Derevyanchenko lost to, but then went on to lose to Charlo and has a fight schedule. Like, he's not silly. He's letting you know that, you know, he's still developing, and they're choosing the right fights. They're choosing the right, and there's nothing wrong with that. Jaime is 25 years old. I seen youth, and he's already a one-time champion. So, you know he hasn't unified. And I like to use Danny Garcia as that barometer, because Danny at 27 was unified and a two-time champ, I believe, already at welterweight. He became a champ, and he was unified at 140, and he was 27. So Jaime still has 2 years to get another belt at 60, which I believe he can if he does what he's doing. If he chooses Derevyanchenko, allows Murata and Triple G to fight each other, then he get the winner. You know, I can see that. Same thing. If you waiting on Triple G, then you want to take Sergey Derevyanchenko, who's been in there with Charlo, who could be your mandatory. He's been in there with Gennady, who's the fight you want. Now, this is what you got to understand. Jaime is in position to get a shot. If he wants it, he could get a shot at Charlo. He just got to go to the WBC convention and petition. If he wants it, he could get a shot at the WBO by just simply, contacting them and asking to become the mandatory, because he's the number one in the WBO. So there are a lot of options for Jaime Munguia. Even Golden Boy fighter, don't know if he's still with Golden Boy, but obviously they've done tons of business with David Lemieux from Canada, who can also be a potential foe if you want to get him ready for the power of a Gennady or a Murata or a Canelo. Throw him in there with a Canadian David Lemieux, who's also been in the ring with decent names, and they can give you a fighter some decent rounds and have you learn a thing or two from Jaime on his way up. Ander, I don't know what do you mean by adding Gabe Rosado to the TBV team. But if you mean like on a podcast, I would love him to be on. But, he's a very, very busy man. Even though he lost, he's very popular, man. And he runs a gym in California, and then he's a full-time fighter. So, I would love to do any sort of collaboration with anybody that is of that level for sure. That being said, Demetrius Andrade is that true test, right? Like, I think if he beats an Andrade, he makes claims to a Canelo fight. Same way if he beats a Charlo, he gives claims to a Canelo fight. And even a Gennady, I hate I say it, but it is true. Gennady still has that third fight option out there. We don't know if Canelo will ever take it, but if you beat Gennady, he no longer has that option, and you can become that particular option. So, shout out to Munguia. He hung in tough. He took a lot of craftiness from, Rosado, who presented a lot of that, a lot of slickness, some shoving. Rosado did some shoving. He got warned by the ref for some after the bell tactics. So, he was in there with a tough, gritty veteran of the sport, and he passed the test with flying colors. I mean, Jaime doesn't bruise easy, or Rosado wasn't really landing the way we would have wanted him to. Because Jaime came out of this fight looking clean as a whistle. I tell you, I don't know why the metaphor is anyway clean as a whistle when you put them in your mouth. But listen, it's crazy that he doesn't look swollen. He doesn't look, beat up on. So, yeah. I mean, the reason he would have a claim to Canelo, Big Nick, is because obviously Canelo has made Andrade more popular than he's ever been, right? He's made Andrade this horrible fighter who he's decided not to fight. So believe me, the questions will be, now that Jaime beat the fighter that you didn't want to fight because you thought he was horrible, does that make Jaime any better or on the radar? And I think it's a yes. I don't think you can beat Demetrius Andrade and not become a possibility for a Canelo Alvarez. I mean, how does that make sense, right? Like, they know each other. He's been in the division with Canelo since 54, 60. They've had the altercation now at the Billy Joe Saunders, I believe, press conference. Or, yeah, maybe the Billy Joe. I don't know. The point is, I don't believe that. I believe if you beat a Demetrius Andrade, you do have a claim, because the other reporters and media members, they will tell the world who Jaime beat. It's not like because Canelo said Demetrius is a horrible fighter, the world thinks he's a horrible fighter. They might not love his style, but they want to see him in these fights with Charlo, Eubank, Canelo, Gennady, and I'm sure that they will take a Jaime Munguia. Let's check our poll to see where Andrade is. Look, he's the highest option. He's 40. Okay, just moved to 39% of our votes are voting for Demetrius Andrade, not Golovkin Murata winner, which is 33%, and Eubank Williams winner, which is 10%, and Charlo, which is only 18%. So Andrade, who we spoken the least of here on today's episode, is the most wanted challenge for a young Jaime Munguia. I like that fight because of Jaime's style. He presents some danger for Andrade because of all the punches and the constant pressure. Like his pressure is due to 4 and 5 punch combinations. Not everybody can take that. That's just the bottom line. But yeah, man, if you guys are interested in this particular episode, or you want to give your opinion, then the number to call in is 1-425-569-5241. We're talking what's next for Jaime Munguia. Is it Saul Canelo Alvarez? Is it Jermall Charlo, who can do June? Let's hypothetically assume guys are saying, well, Jaime and Charlo, they can't take Cinco de Mayo. Okay, no problem. Let's do June 19th again. He did Munguia. Montiel, Juan Montiel, the cousin of Fernando Montiel. So Charlo, Jermall can absolutely offer Jaime, the WBC #1 from Mexico, a shot at his belt in Houston or San Antonio, anywhere in Texas. It makes perfect sense. Now the issue becomes, will DAZN be okay with Jaime leaving the network? As we know, Charlo ain't going anywhere. Now, I wonder, does Charlo take a shot like this, or does he continue to fight 154-pounders and guys that he knows he can beat so that he can stay undefeated and wait for his opportunity at a title shot with Canelo? Because obviously if you get in there in a fight with Jaime and lose, you also lose your Canelo Alvarez shot. It's just that simple. It's like busting that pimple. You ain't going to get the big payday if you lost to Jaime. Jaime moves on to get your
Payday. You want payday. I know that.
And them combinations of Jaime, they in there. He mixing them straight down the pipe with 1-2. He'll do 1-2-1-2 or do 1-2-1-2, 3-4. Like, my man was just bringing it, man. And look, Rosado, he just was taking too many shots. He was doing the high guard and taking too many of those on the guard, on the arms, on the hips, on the stomach, everywhere. Jaime was mixing them up. But based off that Montiel fight with Charlo, I don't know. Jaime gives him a tough fight. And I wonder if they feel ready. Now, we heard what he said in his post-fight, but that's just one post-fight. You know, he could have been interviewed a dozen more times and had other things to say. I'm just saying, if I'm Eric Morales, the trainer of Jaime Munguia, and yes, Hall of Fame Eric Morales, the trainer of Jaime Munguia, I'm looking at that Charlo Montiel fight, and I'm saying to myself, we knocked out Montiel, we being Jaime, Team Jaime Munguia, and we are better than Montiel. Everything that Montiel did in that Charlo fight, Jaime does better. That's a good fight, man. He probably should push for that WBC. I feel like, look, a southpaw's a southpaw. Then he's awkward, you know. Not trying to give Canelo any mother freaking more clout, but you don't get the best fight when you watch an Andre fight. You damn sure don't get Rosado Munguia. You damn sure don't get Canelo Plant. You know, what do you get when you watch Andrade? So it's like, yeah, maybe I do want Jaime to take that Charlo fight because it would be a straight up and down barn burner versus, you know, Andrade's style that we don't know what we're going to get on what night. Now, he has been posting that someone's going to have to call the doctor. Bones will be broken. He's getting a stoppage. He's on beast mode. And I think he could stop Jason Quigley, but guess what? He better stop Jason Quigley. You know? Jason Quigley is not on this level. He did not earn a title shot. This is some sort of voluntary defense. He better stop Jason Quigley. You know? Well, we eat crow on Sunday tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. We're right back at you with another one. Boxing Voice going 2 times a day on Sundays, 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll be sitting here with the whole gang, whole panel, discussing everything we've seen all week and not just this particular fight and whatever's next, any news and notes and headlines. So, yeah, tune in right here at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and 8 p.m. Central. Let me open up the phone lines. If you want to call in, you know the number 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 one time. Voice your opinion right here. Voice of the People hotline.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
These calls are brought to you by Big Rigs Trucking Agency, experts for all your insurance and trucking needs. For quotes and consultations, visit us at brtagency.com or contact us at 908-943-6918.
All right. Let's go out to David Maldonado, New York City. What is up?
What he done to the boxing world to be number 1 in the junior weight division.
Corporal no shit, Peter Fowler no shit, the master no shit, I know everything with God.
Yo, good morning, man. Good morning. Top of the morning, Ness.
What up?
Yo, Ness, I agree with you. I think I like Munguia's chances with Charlo because when he fought Montiel, he was letting those hands go. He was connecting on Charlo. Munguia got some nice combinations. I'm proud of Gabe Rosado, though. He represented, you know what I'm saying? He's like a true warrior. Any other Puerto Rican would have been, if that would have been Berlanga, he would have got folded in half. Gabe Rosado stood his ground, and I still think Gabe Rosado I still think Rosado could beat Berlanga. As for as Munguia, I would like to see him fight Triple G, because in the Canelo fight, it shows that Triple G doesn't fight that good when someone's backing him up. I think Munguia will probably be able to beat Triple G right now at this point. As far as the Puerto Rico versus Mexico rivalry, that shit is over with until we get an elite fighter, man. Hopefully Shakur fights Oscar Valdez, so that could be our win for Puerto Rico right there. That's the closest thing we got to a Puerto Rican fighter right now.
I mean, Shakur coming out with Mexican outfits, man. You better get him to wear a Puerto Rican flag at least.
I know he should. He should do that. His fan base will really increase because he's half Puerto Rican at the end of the day, and I see a lot of Alfredo Benitez moves when he fights. But yeah, man, Jaime Munguia is looking pretty good, man. I'm impressed. His defense got better. I noticed he measures his range and his distance a lot better too, and that's something that Eric Morales was good at. And just like Eric Morales, he's a dog. Morales was the kind of fighter that when you hit him, he wants to come back immediately and start opening up with combinations. And that's what Munguia was doing. He really surprised me with Rosado. I thought Rosado was really going to beat him. I hope that I don't think this is the end for Rosado. I think Rosado really deserves to have a couple of real soft touches, get his confidence up. And his last big fight after this, I think I really want to see Rosado versus Edgar Berlanga. I really believe if there's ever a big fight that I believe Rosado could win, I really think he could beat Berlanga. I think he stops him, especially after I've seen from Berlanga's last couple of fights, man. You agree on that?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think they're ready to cash in on Berlanga yet.
I mean, I don't know. See what happens with that. Or maybe the Danny Jacobs rematch could be something for Gabe Rosado too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Yeah, Rosado's tough. He's probably too tough for Berlanga right now. Even after that, well, we don't know what he's gonna have. He is 35. He's got hella fights, and that was a tough fight. That was a lot of shots. He blocked a lot in the early rounds, but they started getting in more and more and more as that fight went on. And look, he went 12.
I know. I thought he was going to get stopped after a while.
He went 12.
I thought he was going to get stopped after a while.
Yeah, those were a lot of shots, and he went 12 with all those shots. You just never know what's the deal.
You know what's surprising me about Rosado, though? Because in boxing, when a fighter takes a lot of punishment, they get worn down. They're not the same. He took the kind of beatings in his career where right now he shouldn't even be being able to put up the kind of fight he's putting up. Well, I saw him fight live twice. I was at the Garden when he fought with Triple G. That was on the Mikey Garcia Toledo card. And I also seen him live when he fought against what's the Canadian guy's name that could punch? What's his name? Lemieux. I seen that one. He got beat up bad. David Lemieux, to me, beat him up worse and more convincingly than anybody. I thought he was done after that. The guy still keeps bouncing back. The Peter Quillen fight, I saw that fight. I had him winning that fight. They stopped that fight off of a cut. He got screwed a few times. He beat the dude from Mayweather's gym, Javion Love. I saw that fight too. He beat the brakes off that kid. They robbed him. They also robbed him against homeboy that beat Jared Hurd too.
Yeah, Aries.
Yeah, Aries used to be with Mayweather Promotions also, man. Gabe Rosado had some bad breaks, and I felt either way he was going to have to knock Munguia out because that was going to rob him. The same way, did you watch the Showtime card?
Yeah.
Jose Benavidez is a joke. That guy should have lost that fight. They robbed that poor dude that outboxed him. So that dude...
Yeah, man. We'll talk about that this afternoon. 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. West Coast. No, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. West Coast, 6 p.m. Central. We're going to Cincy.
Hey, whole nother time zone. Jumped up back with our mind on. Can't play when you here, get your life stole. If you bring it here, then the price grow. Folks jabbing and punching the line long. I drop a pigeon, let 9 go. We slap with the fake glass and white go. This only happens in Ohio.
Yo, Ness, what up? Good morning.
Buenos dias.
Hey, man, I want to say I appreciate the, Sunday morning pop-up show, but we talking about the wrong topic, brother. This show should have been dedicated to Alicia, man. What you doing, bro?
I'm not lusting. That's what I'm doing. Talking
Hey,
boxing.
man. Hey, did Jaime win the title yesterday? Alicia won the title, man. So, Jaime, I didn't even watch Jaime's fight.
If we did a who should she fight next, how many fighters we gonna put in there? Oh, that's right, just Michaela Mayer. Come
We
on,
just
bro.
want to see her. She could fight a
Exactly.
cardboard
See?
box for all we care.
Exactly. I'm not, go to a pervert podcast. I'm not into that.
Hey, man. Come on, bro. Don't disrespect us men of culture. We got good taste. Jaime, I don't care what he does, but like I said, man, shout out to Alicia. She went over there and defied the odds. Women's boxing is in great hands
You
with
ain't
her,
even pick
man.
her. You ain't even pick her. And that's
Out
the
here.
problem. That's the
I've been
problem with
picking,
this community. All you
I've been
do is
picking her for years. I've been picking her for years.
campaign for her to be on the show because you want to lust over her, but never once do you call and say how good she could box. You didn't put anyone in this community on. You ain't put anyone in this community on. You only put them on physically. You didn't say she was gonna beat Harper. Now you want to come talking. Man, get out of
Y'all
here.
do the same thing for Ebony Bridges, man.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
No, we don't. That you generalize it. I'm talking specifically to you. You know how many times you DM me asking to get her on? You never broke down a fight, and then here she go had the biggest fight of her life. You ain't say Ness make that bet. You ain't say Born, J Mac, none of your community members. You ain't think. All you think about is the fact that she ain't had no bra on when she was doing her little media workout.
Hey, man, it's bigger than boxing with Alicia, bro.
Yeah, I know.
It's boxing.
You better check her IG, man. It's over, man. She a champ now. Them dudes gonna come at you. Every boxer in the world done congratulate her. She might get you touched for disrespecting her these days. It's a wrap.
It ain't disrespect, man. I'm a fan, man. I ain't disrespecting. I want to see her. I eat the bigs. All the hottie boxers do well, man.
See, there you go. Hottie boxer. I gotta go, man. That's belittling them, man. Saying they look cute and all that. Why can't they just be fighters, bro? Terrible. But anyway, she did do her job, an amazing job. I'm very upset that I didn't know she could do it, and that's why I'm mad at this dude. Because him and Brandon, they always want to get her on, but don't none of them talk about her fucking boxing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why do I want a girl on we don't know nothing about? Don't nobody got no questions. You know what I'm saying? And here she goes. She was a talent, right? She was good enough to become a champ on that night. And she got both green belts. That was impressive. For someone like me, or for someone like me, that was impressive because I do value the IBO. We all know that. And I love my WBC. We all know that. So, yeah. My friend London Runs Boxing, bruh, look at those names. Mayer, Tasha Jonas. She could move up to fight Cameron and Katie Taylor or etc. See? And here we are doing the show with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is it 7? Look like 7 to me, 160 pounders. No fantasy fights, I mean, we talk enough fantasy boxing. Like, the man just had a great fight, right? And he has options. We'll talk about Michaela Mayer for all you hornbags, but it's gonna be for a different reason. It'll be about Michaela Mayer immediately on her Instagram wondering why Alicia talking about Jesus when she was asked about Michaela Mayer. That's what we'll be talking about Sunday at 7 p.m. Thirsty ass callers. Davidian, what up?
Yo, what's good, Ness?
What's up?
Not much. The fights is good. This is my first time seeing Alicia Baumgartner, but she did her thing. The way she knocked, she caught her with the right in the third, and then in the fourth, oh my God, call her frozen. That shit was crazy. That was a nice win, though. You know, I don't know. Let's shout out to that was one of the best fights. So, obviously David and Jaime Munguia versus Rosado. Obviously, I was going with Rosado because I feel like he's had so many close fights. I'd be rooting for that dude. So, because I feel like he beat Danny Jacobs. I don't care what they said as far as the judging. But no, it was a pretty decent night of fights. And yeah, I don't know. Great show, Nuss. God bless.
All right. Yeah, man. There is a lot of women's boxing out there, but it's just starting to pick up. You know, it's getting hot right now. I tell you one thing. Hopefully, Alicia can punch as hard as it looks. Because if she can't, I don't think that she can beat Michaela Mayer. You know, her style is a counter-punching style. It's one punch at a time, too. Michaela is a volume puncher with height and range, and obviously can take a good punch. Counter punch, Brandon.
Yo, Ness, can you hear me, bro?
Yes, sir.
So let me get this right. Callers can call in lusting over other fighters, calling them physical specimens, and they love these guys and they ready to kill other callers for their favorite fighters. Y'all can ride Al Heyman and Eddie Hearn's nuts like they the second coming of Jesus Christ. But when a heterosexual man calls in to give a beautiful woman some praise, he gets ostracized. What type of shit is that, bro? What type of shit is that, man? I'm disappointed in you. I'm disappointed in you. That's all I got to say. That's my call.
All right. So the difference is when we talk about Al, we talking about something that he's doing within boxing, you know, some sort of achievement, some sort of fight he's made, something. And all I'm complaining about is you've been talking about her for years, but you've never called in with a fight pick. And the one time we needed your fight pick, Mr. quote unquote self-proclaimed best caller TBV has, you didn't even make it. You didn't even pick with your heart with her. Like, you didn't come on and pick with your heart and be like, oh, I'm going for my boo, Alicia Bumgarner. Nah, you stood quiet. I don't even think you made a call because I would have remembered because I know the connection between you and her. So that's what lets me down, bro. That's what lets me down, that you still want to lust when you know you should be ashamed of yourself as her quote-unquote number one fan. You didn't tell us. You know we a betting community. You didn't tell us she was going to win because you didn't know. Because you was only lusting. But that's all right, bro. I'm not singling you out. You allowed to do what you want. I know when I talk about these men, the way you put it, I'm giving you a reason why I'm talking about Andrade and a reason why I'm talking about Jaime. And I'm just telling you that Jaime is better, in my opinion, than Juan Montiel Macias or Juan Macias Montiel, who Charlo had trouble with, who actually Jaime knocked out. See, all that's relevant in this conversation. Like, you interjected Bumgarner because you worried about her bum. But it's all good, you know. Men will be men. We was all young at one point, you know. Hopefully, we could get that fight with Michaela Mayer, you know. Who else did London Runs Boxing say? I think he said Cameron? No, that was moving up. So who else? London, who else you said, homie? I can't find your chat in time. Oh, let me just type in here. I forget that I got this tool here. London. What you got? So, Tasha Jonas. Man, ain't that the girl that keep losing? I'm gonna have to look her up. See, these guys done turned this into this, but we could do this for a bit. Cause I know my co-hosts, they ain't watched the fight. Maybe right? Definitely. Yeah, man. Homie tripping. I get him though, whatever. This is I guess a barometer fight for Bumgarner to see where she's at with a girl that's been in there with Katie. But again, this is a division above. Like, you want her to move up for Natasha Jonas, who's got a draw and a loss in her last two. And she's not, one of the big names in boxing that I'm gonna move up a division when I'm the champ at that division to fight you because you got a loss and a draw. Like, and wait a minute, she got a draw to Harper, who didn't this girl just beat Terry Harper? Ain't that the girl she just beat? Of course, I'm lost right now. Y'all see, that's what I'm saying, and that's what they doing. That's how you know they just hornbags. Cause look at those options. Does Jaime options look this bad, or is this one bad option for Jaime? Like, this sounds like a Derevyanchenko, a guy coming off 2 losses. A girl coming off 2 losses. She's coming off a loss to Katie Taylor. He's coming off a loss to Jermall Charlo. He's coming off a loss to Gennady. You see how that sounds? That sounds similar, but that's Jaime's like 7th fucking option. He could choose to take it first, like I showed that he might. I definitely played the audio that he's looking at a Derevyanchenko. But he also got Andrade. He's the number 1 in that division. He's the number 1 in Charlo's division. The WBC is having their convention this week. It starts Monday, I believe. So, shit about to get ordered. And he's Mexicano. He ain't fake Mexican. He real Mexican. And let me tell you, Paco is what? From like Venezuela or Panama? The WBO guy, so I'm sure that's the reason that the WBC has Jaime at number 1, and he ain't even had this win. He's already at number 1. Now with this win, again, don't be shocked if they mandate him versus Charlo. But only if he wants. Only if he wants. Believe me, they will not be, mandating it without speaking to someone in that camp, and you got to remember, there's a lot of people. Fernando Beltran is in that camp. Then you got Oscar and B-Hop, because Beltran brought Munguia over there. But, yeah, and then Munguia got the Golovkin Murata winner. Those are the zone options, so there's no comparison. My hornbag callers are just grasping at straws. And if this gives you enough time from here to 7 o'clock for you to get your female boxing talk right and present a better argument than, just saying that we should be talking about a girl because she's pretty, Give her more respect, because that's Tony Harrison's peoples, Keith. They be training with her. A lot of the Philly dudes, and that's what she said, I didn't want to believe in underdogs anymore. I didn't even bet on Rosado. You know what I'm saying? Like we all know I'm having a losing streak. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to believe in all the pre-fight hype, but I heard her talking about, man, I'm different. I spar dudes. These women spar women. And I'm like, man, every girl spar dudes. At one point or another, your trainer gonna put you in there with some dudes, whether they lighter than you or less experienced than you. You getting in there with some dudes. So I ain't really try to feed into it. But she did her thing, man. She did her thing. She a champ now with the green belt. So she gonna get a shot and some sort of offer. It's funny because she just had a fight out here in Orlando versus Vicious Rose. She tuned up out here and then look, boop, got offered that title shot. Insane how women's boxing is. It ain't like that for men's boxing, I'll tell you that. You ain't about to get no off-TV tune-up and end up in a title shot Kiko Martinez, that's right. My bad. Nah, his last fight wasn't off TV though. But shout out to Kiko, man. He became a 2-time champion. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. He up there with the Porters and the Pedrasas and the AJs, the Dannys. You can never say, boxing, right? Like look, I wanted Rosado. Wow. That shit just came to mind. Look, I wanted Rosado to be the new Orlando Salido, but yesterday the new Salido was Kiko Martinez. Kiko got like 13 losses. He became the new Salido yesterday, man. He became the new Salido. He got 2-time champion. Honestly, I thought it was 3-time. I'm going to have to eventually skim through his resume because I know they said on the telecast 2, but I thought it was 3-time. But shout out to Kiko, man. This is why I love this sport. This is why sometimes I pick those underdogs. You just never fucking know. And I know Kid Galahad. I always knew he wasn't the greatest after that Toka Khan fight. But I ain't think he was to the point where he would get slept by Kiko Martinez. Shout out to my man Barry Ward. That was crazy, bro. That second knockdown, the knockout period, like that one was crazy because he hit his head on the canvas too. That shit, he was asleep, man. That was crazy. Didn't even get it to defend his title. So there we go. We back to the argument. You see? Stavern was lucky he got a vacant title shot, right? With Arreola, then had to rematch Arreola because it was a good fight. I don't know. I hope I'm saying that right. Because if not, strike it from the record. Wait, I was going into that because of what? Fuck it. It was something about title shots, but I got a caller here, and that's what messed me up. Looking for this name. It is George, right? Yes, sir. In Tucson. What up?
What's up, Ness? What's going on, man? Good morning. It's early as hell over here in Arizona, but just last night was a good night for fights. From Showtime to DAZN to the early broadcasting to the finishing. With Munguia and Rosado. I think my takeaway was William Cepeda. He caught my eye in that, man. I was pretty impressive to see him. I think he's an up and coming rising star coming out of DAZN. So, but with Rosado and Munguia, I was very impressed with Munguia because, Rosado he's a vet, and you want to see a younger guy put in with somebody like a Rosado, and that was a good point how you made it where he could be like the next Salido, and I thought that was a good analogy. But overall, Munguia, he did really well, man. I think he impressed a lot of people, and there's many options at that division. And I wouldn't mind seeing a Charlo next. I mean, I think that would probably be a more realistic matchup, or probably the next fight to be made.
Charlo?
Yeah, I think Charlo, maybe. I think that would be a good one. Like you said, he had his moments against Montiel where Montiel, made him struggle, and Munguia, he comes straight in there. He'll take some shots on the chin, and he'll take one to give too. And I think that would be my takeaway and what I think would help Munguia in that fight.
All right, brother. Well, thank you for calling in. Appreciate your time. Let me go out to Mad Bet. Sieng.
Morning. Good morning, hear me?
I hear you.
All right, good morning, Ness. I always look forward to this Sunday morning. Hey, Kiko pull out that upset. You talked about it, you said, what if? And it happened. That's crazy. Baumgartner won me some money.
How much?
Baumgartner got me some.
Man. I didn't bet, bro. How much you made off her? I mean, you ain't got to tell
I bet 10.
Okay.
It wasn't much, like $25.
What? Oh, she was only a plus 250.
Yes.
Oh wow! So they knew a little something about her then.
Yeah, they knew. Oh, they knew something about the other chick from the last fight when she was getting touched up and rocked from the one she got the draw in that she should have lost. That's how big a bum gunner coming down in weight. And I've seen her training at Tony Harrison. I've seen her training with Montana Love, Albert Bell over the course of time. I think they doubted her because she was not on TV. But I follow her on Instagram for 2 years now, and I watched her these fights. It was this like a stream.
Yeah.
That she actually won a little belt, and I saw that she had skills, and I thought that she would blast Terry Harper because she's a puncher and she could box, like really box. She's not like McGee. She can move, and she's kind of cocky with it, as you saw in the fight.
Yo, McGee, all in her comment section like, oh, I love that you talked about Jesus, about the Father and His Son before anything. You re-inspired me. I'm motivated.
She does need better training. She's a dog, McGee. She goes for the kill, but she's just awkward.
Yeah, she's actually good, man. She do need better training. She got to learn to let her hands go a little bit more. It's women's fights. You can't be that conservative unless you could pop.
Yeah, with 2 minutes especially.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I gotta say I was impressed with Munguia. He's getting better. He let his hands go. I don't think he's like very powerful. I don't think he's like like Margarito. It shows Margarito in his hands. He throws a lot of punches. And he has a good chin. Because Rosado cut him some punches, but jeez. The guy was going for it. But, knowing Rosado's history with getting busted up, the amount of punches that Munguia hit him with, I thought he was going to get busted up.
For real,
Even though
man,
he got
that was
pulled
a
up,
lot. That was a lot, man. That was too much punishment. At one point, I thought they was going to stop it because it was just so many punches coming straight at him in the 1-2-1-2 style, and then he'll even do an uppercut or double that left hook, even topple down. It was getting crazy in there, man. Rosado,
Yeah, he laughed. He laughed. That was that.
He hit him with some shit too. He just never could follow up. Like he would get one off, and it's gonna take a combination puncher to stagger.
Or at the end of the round.
Huh?
Or at the end of the round, you see, Rosado started to get up at the end of the round.
Yeah.
Like right hand. And round is over. You see, Munguia look like.
But a lot of those right hands didn't even land. Like he landed one good right hand in that fight where Munguia's back bent a little bit, like a U, the opposite way and shit. But he never followed up. Like he needs to. It's gonna take a combination puncher, cause Munguia got a good chin, man. That's a good chin.
He got a good chin, and he throws a hell of a lot of punches.
Hell of a punches, bro.
A lot of punches.
He throwing, man.
Last comment, Benavidez. Last comment, Benavidez.
Nah.
Then he looks like he struggles to make it.
Benavidez isn't more. It's tonight, bro. Tonight, bro. And we got some callers. I don't want to leave them on hold over here. But yeah, we just trying to stick to Jaime. He was he was in more of a fight. There's no disrespect to Benavidez and my good friend Kyrone Davis, but that wasn't the fight of the weekend. This was the fight of the weekend. And maybe I'm biased because Rosado, but I just believe this was the fight of the weekend. It was more evenly matched, and that spoke for itself. It's sad I didn't bet on this fight because Jaime was such a favorite to fucking win by knockout. This was the fight that I should have been telling y'all, bet the decision. But Rosado's ass has been stopped by TKO, cuts, corners, all types of shit. So I didn't want to play he's gonna last 12 because I didn't know that his face would be tough enough that the body would stand up. But that was your play right there. Now that in retrospect it's easy to say, but I remember the odds, and Jaime was a huge favorite to stop him, like a -200, -150. And obviously, he was great money to win by decision, which we didn't pick. I think Coach Rivera did though. I seen he won a few bets. But now all of y'all betting. I'm like, damn, everybody fucking winning. Even Super Mex sent me his bet. He won. I fell back because I bet big on Canelo, man, and I'm mad. I need a real good bet to win my Canelo money back. Freaking Canelo. I went with decision on Canelo. Keem, the Dream in Puerto Rico. What up? You calling in for your man Gabe and them, or you just listening? Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. You say you know boxing?
Yeah. What is it? Maybe I don't know.
Tell me what a pool counter is.
Pool counter? I've never heard that term before. That must be your term. You must have been...
You know, fair shake, HBO need to fire you. You don't know shit about boxing. You ain't shit.
Ness, what up, man?
What up?
Nothing much, man. I mean, let's be real. Gabe got robbed. He won that fight last night. No, I'm just fucking with you. Now, that was a good fight, though, man. That was a good fight. I thought Gabe was going to be able to pull it out, man. But, you know, it looked like Munguia was just a younger, fresher, faster, you know, guy in there, basically, letting off a little bit more combinations and whatnot. But it was still a really good fight, man. You agree with this fight of the year stuff people been saying?
What, this one?
Yeah, the Munguia and Rosado.
See, I don't believe in that fight of the year just because two dudes beating each other up. But it was a good fight.
Yeah. So it was a good fight, man. Absolutely.
I just hate the fight of the years could only be bomb burners. Like, why can't it be, some skillful shit?
That's what people want to see, man. That's what people want to see. You know what I mean? They want it to be the back and forth battle, basically. That's just what people like, man. That's why heavyweight boxing is so popular, right? That's most of the time what you're going to see, man. So, I feel you, though. But sometimes we do want to see the more technical fights be the fight of the year, but shit don't work like that, man. But what else you was talking about this morning? I just jumped on. It was just Munguia.
Just Jaime and his options. Just Jaime and his options. Like, what's next?
Oh, his options. This guy. Like, he got big options. Bruh. He take what they give him, man.
Bruh, you see how many? He's number 1 in the WBO, number 1 in the WBC. That means he could get a shot at Andrade if he want. He's already number 1 at WBC. He could get a shot at Charlo.
I want to see that. Andre versus Munguia. Yeah, we need
He's
that.
on the zone side. So
Andre is at 60. Yeah. I'm tripping. He at 54. Yeah, absolutely. Let's do that. Let's get Andre versus Munguia.
It don't gotta be that. He got options. He on the DAZN side, so he could get Murata Golovkin winner. He with Golden Boy, so he could get
What
Lemieux.
belt does Golovkin got?
IBF and the IBO, and he fighting for the WBA versus Murata in December 29th, which is only less than a month away.
And that's how I heard about Munguia. He had didn't he petition to fight Triple G or something, but he was at 154 and they wouldn't let him.
Yeah. They was definitely trying to make that fight, and
he been trying to make that fight. So he probably will.
He'll kill Triple G.
Murata, he'll probably go that route.
He'll kill Triple G because if Triple G gets out of that Murata fight, he gonna get out of there getting touched. Murata's a puncher.
He looked decent in that last fight against what was dude's name? Sedimenta.
Who? Triple?
Triple G.
Come on, man. Munguia knocked out Sedimenta probably quicker, didn't he?
I don't think Triple G knocked him out, did he?
Oh, that's even worse.
I think he did stop him. Maybe. I don't know. I don't remember.
Sedimenta
I just remember he was in there trying to be on his fake Canelo head movement and shit.
Well, he took 7. Munguia, the younger lion, took 6. He said, yo, I'm quicker than the old man.
He did it. Man, that's about the same 6'7". That's
no, it ain't, dog.
Time,
no, it ain't. If we competitors, I did it faster. That's all that matters.
You right. You can't take that from him, but still, it don't show no separation. It don't show a lot of separation.
Oh, yes, it do.
And he's that much younger, that much fresher.
As soon as I seen his resume, all I heard was, anything you can do, I can do better.
Yeah, right, man.
That's what I heard.
Put him in there then. Watch your boy Munguia get stopped.
Nah, I don't think so, man. I'm telling you, he made me a believer last night.
Put it this way.
That's what I needed.
Anything you could do, I could do better. What did Triple G do to my boy Rosado? compared to what Munguia did last night.
Bruh, he had a Rosado. Listen to me. He had he had a Rosado. A, less experience. B, moving up on short notice. He didn't get no acclamation. This Rosado is more experienced, had 3 fights at 68, and arguably, in most hardcore's mind, was on a 3-fight win streak. The best win streak of his career,
He's been looking good lately. I give you that.
No, the best. It's the best. Listen, the last 3 fights of Rosado were the best of his career. Melikuliev
stopped him.
Melikuliev and Daniel Jacobs. Those are the best 2 fights of his career. He's never had another 2 set of fights that high level.
He got a draw with Arias.
But again, Arias ain't Jacobs, though. Jacobs was at least a champ. He at least fought on pay-per-view versus Canelo and Gennady. It ain't the same.
Be heard, man. Arias just be heard, though.
That's retrospect.
He coming off a big win.
All I'm saying is this was the best run of a Rosado. We ain't never had a Rosado this good.
I give you that. He's looking good, man. That's why I picked him to win.
Damn, you picked him to win? Puerto Rico.
I had him in a parlay, man. I thought I had an easy parlay. I had Gabe, Terrence Crawford, and Lyndon Arthur. $20 was gonna pay me out like $300 or something.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, I hear you, man, Gabe. But you know, he was on a streak. Let me get to some other callers, but he was on a streak, man. So I hear people betting with him. I had to not bet because I knew I was biased. You know, there was nothing I can do but picture Gabe winning. So it's like, man, let me back off. And then I had Jeff from Nova Scotia like, yo, put your money on Rosado every day, multiple times a day. He in the chat like, yo, put your money on Rosado unless you ain't gonna regret it. And every minute that he put it, I would feel like, oh man, do I put it? It's only $10. $10 wins me 35. $10 wins me 47. I'm like, man, nah. The risk wasn't worth the reward for me. You know what I mean? It just wasn't. And luckily I was right. The sad part is, if you would have bet that $10 on Jaime, you'd have won like 80 cents or some shit. I'm horrible at math, so I don't know the actual, but it would have been garbage. Jesus, what up? Jesus, that's who Alicia was talking about instead of McKellar.
What up, Next?
What up?
That was a good fight, man. Those were good fights last night. Man, it was a good day, man. The fights are coming too, man. So. Yeah, it did, but man, a lot of fights I was watching both at the same time. One on my phone, one on the TV, but imagine Munguia and Charlo in Dallas at the AT&T Stadium.
Yeah, man.
That would sell out. That's big money right there. That's a big fight.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Super Bowl weekend or the weekend after. That's a big fight right there. That's a lot of money. People will come see that. That's a fight I want to see. But of course, I want to see him versus Andre. February 7th. February 7th.
February 7th.
February 7th. I mean, and then if the Cowboys don't
I was thinking
go
June.
to the Super Bowl.
I was thinking the same date they did the Montiel fight.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Or in March.
What's happening in March?
That could be. I know. They could do it in Dallas in March. A month after the Super Bowl. But I mean, Super Bowl weekend, that would be big too. But yeah, that fight makes money, you know. That's probably the fight to make, money wise, in Dallas, you know. Yeah. But I'm cool with Triple G. I'm cool with everything else. So yeah, that's my call next.
All right, champ. Jesus, thanks for calling in, LA. Coach Rivera, what up, champ? You just listening? All right, well, let me get to this super chat from you. Who said, oh, there you go. So you are just listening.
I'm just listening. I'm working right now.
Okay. Well, I'll go to your super chat. He says, Boo Boo is a horrible fighter or the boogeyman? Why not get that 40 million? Rosado deserves a light tune-up and then an okay fight before going against the top. I'll say this, because even though this is a show, a trolling show, I won't troll and do a show. But if you watch the All Access epilogue, they say, yo, what do you think of Caleb Plant as an opponent? He says, oh, as an opponent, I don't know. I'll find out tonight. But I like the money for this fight. So, and that was pre-800 thou. I just hope that means that we can get a David, which I don't think beats him, or a Charlo, which I don't think beats him. That would be crazy if they beat him, because that would mean that on that night, they showed true greatness, because I don't see it based off what I'm seeing. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. They're getting the job done to both of them. And at the end of the day, that's all they need to do. But it's different to get the job done versus, like, the dudes you doing it and versus Canelo, man. We see that. Watching the replay, I watched the replay last night, trying to watch the fight. And then, my girl had to work, so I turned it off. And then I watched the epilogue this morning, and obviously it gives you so much of the fight. And Canelo's just a problem, man. Canelo's just a problem. Then you think about this video, man. Shout out to Punch, man. He's such a little creative guy, man. I guess little's the wrong word. He's such a great creative mind, He put this thing together. Let me see if I can find it. Punch Drunk Boxing. Hopefully it's on his Instagram. And he found this interview of Floyd Mayweather. Oh, yeah, he still got it there. Shout out to Punch, man. Look at this, y'all. So if you're on my YouTube channel, YouTube.com/The Boxing Voice, we're going to play this video.
You keep hitting them around.
So check what he says.
You break the hip down. You stiffen the legs. And they can't move fluidly. You keep hitting them around the sides good. See, you go like this. See, you keep putting it in there. See, you putting it in there. But when you throw that, something else come with it. You come here.
That old man got it.
Get a few. As Canelo aside, pulling up with the left right away, throws a bunch.
Enough of that, but you get the point. So his caption.
You break the hip down.
Let me mute it now. His caption is, Floyd Mayweather Sr. demonstrated what Canelo executed versus Plant. Canelo punches holes through the Philly shell. And, yeah, man, you got to wonder, did Canelo pick that up from that video? Did Eddie? But they definitely found their way to disrupt that Philly shell. Now, obviously, it is not Floyd Mayweather Jr., but they used Floyd Mayweather Sr. to break that hip down, break that hip down. And it definitely slowed Caleb down, man. It slowed him down. And you in the epilogue, you hear his corner. You can't take more of them body shots. Stop taking body shots. Then you hear Coach Larry Wade like, yo, you ain't going to win this fight on the ropes. So that pressure, that Canelo pressure, them hips, that breaking of the hip, that shit was real. Real deal. Holyfield, my Jimbe, que lo que? Buenos días.
Buenos días.
What up, man?
Not much, brother. Actually, Duran had a video like that as well, saying the same exact thing a few years ago. When they asked him what would he do if he would face Floyd in his prime, and he broke it down same way that Floyd Sr. did. When you're at that level, man, you're seeing things that us fans can't even picture. We can't even put two and two together in that damn ring. But yeah, I would love to see the Andrade fight. That's the fight that I want. I think, the person that ends up beating Jaime can just come out straight out and be like, listen, this Mexican couldn't beat me, and no other Mexican could beat me, and that's how you get the Canelo fight. Let's be honest. I mean, beating somebody from that country that has a big representation here as well, I think is how you're going to get the Canelo fight. It's almost like facing somebody's brother, like the Hattons or the Cottos. You're always going to say you want the other brother. So I don't know, man. But that's I just jumped on. That's what was that you said that who do you want Jaime to face next? What's your opinion?
I honestly didn't make a selection, but based off his interview with Boxing Social, he's going to take Derevyanchenko, and he wants Golovkin. So I guess, he will know. I don't expect him to get in the ring before the Golovkin fight, but I do expect him to see what he needs to see in that fight to decide if it's going to be Golovkin Murata winner or Derevyanchenko, like he said in his interview.
I'm going to be honest with you. He's not getting the Triple G fight. We're getting Triple G Canelo 3 next. I'm positive of that.
Well, Triple G got to win Murata. You mean after that?
Listen, I mean, yeah, the Murata fight is going to be tough because Murata is a puncher, but Triple G has one of the best chins we've ever seen.
But you think Triple G in December and then turns around versus Canelo in May?
Yes.
Yeah,
yep.
I don't know, man.
That's enough. That's enough time. That's six
I don't know.
7 months.
But ain't this bigger? Triple G in December, Jaime Triple G in May, Canelo winner in September.
I don't think Triple G is going to risk that.
I don't know, man. I mean, he's a small dude. He started at 47. This dude's in China. You about to fight on the 29th. You know that's a Wednesday?
I know. Yeah, but that it's
that shit ain't gonna resonate with us. We the hardcores, yes, and everyone we can get, our lips to their ears, but like with regular America, with the 800,000 that tuned in to Canelo, they're not gonna know that Triple G went to Japan. I don't think so. I hope so.
Ness, but he hasn't taken any fights since what? How many fights since the second Canelo fight? One fight.
But they restructured his contract too, man. They cut the cord on that bullshit, just like they did Canelo. Google it.
Yeah.
So he might be like, they might be like, yo, look, it's Canelo or Jaime. If Canelo says no to you, dog, you fighting Jaime or you off our fucking network. I mean, I don't know. I know they restructured him.
Listen, money talks, but I'd like to think that Canelo and Eddie do have a relationship where Canelo's just not going to cut Eddie off and he'll still work with DAZN. This is my personal opinion, and I also don't want to pay for a fucking pay-per-view, man. I'm paying for DAZN.
No,
so
I hear you, but it don't sound like that, man. Obviously reporters are reporting purposely. They're asking specific questions like, how was your treatment and what do you like? But he's still answering the way that has to frighten Eddie. When they ask you, what do you think of Caleb as an opponent? You're like, well, I don't know as an opponent. We'll find out tonight. But I like this fight because of the money. It's like, okay. He's got his thinking cap on is all I'm saying.
Yeah, nah. I mean,
and look, that was I keep repeating it. That was pre-pay-per-view buys. That was the night of the fight with Jim Gray. Remember, now it's 800,000, so that means that 40 looked like so much more. And I seen Keith Idec answer my question. Al renegotiated that 50% bullshit long ago. He don't even pay 10%. Keith Idec said.
Yeah, I saw that.
So when they made 800, bro, they all happy right now. Not just Canelo, but Al too.
For sure. No. Listen, Eddie's gonna have to go and talk to Saudi, even though it's not gonna happen in Saudi. But he's gonna need some investors to be able to give Canelo what he wants. And he doesn't really have the fights over there at DAZN right now, except for maybe the Triple G fight.
Do you think that DAZN is gonna pay 40 to Canelo for Andrade and another 10 for Andrade? Because Andrade ain't just going to fight Canelo now.
No.
Everybody
no.
see what Canelo's giving they fighters. You know what I'm saying? You got 14 for Kovalev, 12.5 for Jacobs, 10 million plus for Plant, 8 million for Billy Joe.
Billy.
Bro, Andrade ain't just about to lay down for no $5 million. And neither did Derevyanchenko, remember. Neither did Derevyanchenko.
No, definitely. And then this is where you know that the rumors of the DAZN pay-per-view are real. When you start putting the numbers together, it's going to be on pay-per-view. If they want to pay Canelo that money, they're going to have to make it pay-per-view. And that's it. Unfortunately. Ness, great show, brother. Have a great Sunday.
You too. All of you guys enjoy. Let's see. We got some super chats here. Ronald Finkley, who says, I just joined Patreon. Shout out to you, champ. Backbone of the community. Madbet 100 says, Bumgarner won me some money. Shout out to you, man. You know, you win, we all win. Jaguar Paul says, laugh out loud at anybody saying Canelo walking down Benavidez. David can be a champ at cruiser if he wants to. Also, Munguia, Andre needs to happen at DAZN. Man, Sunday at 7 p.m., which is today at 7 p.m., we're going to definitely talk about David, but let's just set the tempo by saying, I don't see what y'all see. I don't see what y'all see. And let's double down by saying that Showtime needs to do better. So last night, like I said, you know, the Munguia fight was so late, I missed the Benavidez fight. So I got the app so you could watch East or West Coast, but you would have had to rewatch the whole freaking Canelo fight, right? With Plant. And I tried to do that, but man, we talking about 1 something in the morning, and I'm still not in the David Benavidez fight or the undercard, which you know I had to watch Jose because it was gonna come on, and obviously my girl had to go to work, so it's like I had to shut the TV off. Now I gotta wait till 9 a.m. because they bum ass don't got on demand. And this is what I'm saying: DAZN is so many light years ahead of these fucking fools that it's sad. And I just wish this DAZN billionaire just talk to Al, offer him some money too. Like what? Especially now that it looks like there's barely anything on Golden Boy DAZN, right? Like there's barely a DAZN Golden Boy. Like, man, come on, man, look for another person because DAZN does it so much better. Like you go to their YouTube channel, the freaking highlights for Gabe Rosado's already there. Last I checked, it had over 130,000 already. You know, the highlights for Cepera's there. It had 20,000 when I checked. You know, what else? There was another highlight there. I can't remember, but it doesn't matter. The point is, they on their job. You know, and I know for a fact if I go to the app, I can go ahead and see those same fights that they got highlights on their YouTube channel. I can see them in their entirety, and they're already separate. I don't got to watch the whole card. It's like, yo, William Cepeda versus whoever he fought. You understand? Simple. It's not hard. You know what I mean? It's not that hard to do that. But this is not what they doing. Instead, you got to watch a rewatch live at 9 a.m. What am I doing at 9 a.m.? I'm working. I'm already here. I can't be there watching it. What am I going to do? Watch it here in the background? Like, they don't even have on demand. How don't you have on demand for boxing? People got so much shit to do and you got these fights starting at 1, 12, 11. Have the shit on demand. They almost force you to steal it, man. Like, I literally watched David Benavidez on YouTube this morning. It was already there. Some YouTube channel with weird Arabic name or Arabic letters had it already. 458 comments, 80-something thousand views. That's 80-something thousand people that could have watched it on your YouTube channel or on your on demand. They just, they corny, man. They really struggling over there. They really need to assess themselves and see that from a social media standpoint alone, they're losing. There's not a highlight of David Benavidez on the Showtime channel, but y'all want me to talk about David and Bumgarner. That's what I'm saying. When you lacking promotion, how do you get talked about? You go to Showtime Boxing, and all they got is Jose Benavidez's post-fight, no pictures of the fight, not one replay of the fight. If Boots fight, they licking his boots with replays. This is what I'm saying. They don't know how to promote, man. It's very, very sad. Very, very sad. And for David, all he gets is a still shot picture. It's just that they don't know what they're doing, and it's very sad, very sad. That's all I can repeat and say, man. Because at this point, it's just like, when will they learn how to do better? But it looks like they'll never get it right. They'll never get it right. And I'm saying they generalizing because, even though DAZN is killing it from a social media standpoint and an on-demand standpoint and the price standpoint, they're not giving me the fights that I want as an American boxing fan. I want more American-friendly fights, And the fact that Liam I seen on DAZN versus Andrade and now is no longer there, and Eubank was offered a fight with Andrade on DAZN and now he's no longer there. Now I got to watch them two fight. I don't even know how, right? Because we still haven't found the way to watch boxing from Sky Sports, right? They just signed Clarissa. I don't know what they plan on doing with us. Hopefully we get to watch their fights. We got super chat from Coach Rivera that says, what you think, Ness? Thinking emoji. Munguia versus Ronald Ellis. I like it. I mean, you biased, Coach. You getting your mans a fight, and I ain't mad at you, man. Ellis is bigger, though, and he at 68. Could he make 60? It'll be a good barometer fight because David just fought Ellis. But, again, Ellis is a bigger man. I'm pretty sure if I Google him, he even fought my dude, Junior Johan, probably at a catch weight. Right? I'm pretty sure. But, yeah. Munguia's promoter calling out Triple G. Yeah, I'm sure. He's 39 years old, and they know he about to go fight a puncher. If he makes it out of that fight, he gonna be less than what he is, unless he shows us any different. I expect him to take some punishment in that fight and still win because of his experience. But he is going to Japan too. You never know if Triple G ends up in a rematch, man. And what would he care? He gonna get an expensive rematch in Japan. This fight is money for him out there and for DAZN. Remember that DAZN has DAZN Japan. They've been dying for this fight. They wanted Canelo to take this fight. Let's be real, and that's how they get it. If Murata beats Triple G, Canelo in Japan is next. Let me tell you that right now. The same way they've been trying to get AJ to China. And that's why they've been pushing Zalal J. He just can't get one. My man out here looking life and death with Jerry. Candrago says, never understood why On Demand stopped hyping pay-per-views. I don't know, man. I don't know what you mean by why On Demand stopped hyping pay-per-views, or do you mean like On Demand on your cable box? Because I know when I order it, the channel is called On Demand, so I don't know what you really mean. But they definitely need to do some hyping. That's all I'm saying. Definitely need to do some hyping. But we got Rod in L.A. What up?
Yo, what up, Ness?
Chill.
Yo, man, that Jaime Munguia fight with Rosado, man, it was a good fight, man. I was rooting for my boy Gabe. I was hoping he pulled that fight through, but I mean, Jaime, man, he just got the youth on him, and I think the realistic fight next, man, is going to be Jaime against Andrade. I don't see Triple G taking that fight. I think Triple G might go for that Canelo fight. And as far as Benavidez, man, look, I'm a Benavidez fan, but I'll be honest with you, man. I wasn't really impressed with the performance last night. It really didn't convince me to see why he deserves that Canelo fight. I'll be honest, I think the best next fight to make is perhaps Benavidez and Charlo's at 68. That's my call, Ness. Peace.
He slid in his little Benavidez talk. Yeah, man. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit that thumbs up and go ahead and subscribe. We're trying to get to 130,100. We're slow rolling. We're at 130,062. So I still need that 40. Feel like I've been asking you for 40 all week. And we're definitely not winning. We need to get 40 by tonight. Let this resonate through the YouTube community and the boxing world. We need 40 by tonight or we will fail our goal of 100 a week. Come on. Can I get some love? Can I get some love? We need 100 a week and it's the last day. I've been asking for 40 all week. Let's go. Lady Shan be back Monday, moolah, 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 moolah. Lady Shan got kids and husbands and all that greatness, bruv. Like, she can't be on every single day. She comes on when she can come on. And she's always welcome to come on. Just like my good friend Emil Carr, D Styles, Joe Habib, or anybody in the community want to come on, chop it up. We more than welcome them all to the round table to discuss book sale. But on that note, I think I got all my super chats. Let me refresh one more time. That is it. Ness GTO, Instagram, and Twitter. Majimbe, Boomerang, or you outie?
I sent you a counterpunch, but it's all good. I just wanted, you were talking about the Showtime app, and I actually forgot to mention it last week. So I ordered the fight on the Showtime app. And again, I thought that they were going to learn after you said what you said about Fox and Showtime not giving you what you buy. I bought it, and now it's not there anymore. I can't rewatch the Canelo fight.
Yeah, that's why I don't. I prefer to buy on ESPN, YouTube. Those places let you keep it.
Bro, they got to do something because I support wherever I can. I don't steal it ever.
Mm-hmm.
But you were right. They are literally forcing you to steal it.
Yep.
That's a shame, bro. That's
it's
a shame.
That's the definition of forcing. Like I have to work, so I can't watch your replay that you're forcing me to watch. And now I still want to watch. So you're forcing me to go to YouTube and just type it in. It's there.
Right. It's crazy, man. They definitely got to step up their game. The Zone, I love their platform. I really wish that everything that's boxing was there. I don't think we'll ever get to that point, but they're on top of it, man. They're on top of it. And all of us as boxing fans should be supporting The Zone. But Ness, great. Have a great Sunday, brother.
All right. Alrighty then. Refreshing one more time. Making sure we got all the callers, and it looks like we do. Ness GTO, Instagram and Twitter. Catch me on the next one tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We will be right back. Peace.